Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I'm coming to you from Raleigh Lake, British Columbia, and I'm out here just in the forest enjoying a morning walk while the kids are still asleep. And we're here for a few days, so I've got a bunch of content queued up for you guys to enjoy, but I wanted to do a couple of videos while we're out here, especially since there's so much to talk about. In this one, we're going to talk about SPS, and I really want to summarize in one video all the amazing reasons why you need to have more SPS. I am confident some of you will know most or many of the topics we're going to discuss here, but I wager almost none of you know all of them. And if our aim is to create content and to serve a community of people that's growing, that need to understand the importance of what our game represents, then content like this is going to be deeply important. So stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe. So SPS is deeply important, and you know that it's actually the kind of the currency of choice for this game now. DC is being kind of, I guess, wheeled back and I guess removed from those rank battle rewards, and then will be left to be more of a stable coin. And that's going to lead the way for SPS to be that front token, that payment processing token, that token we receive from playing the game for your time and attention. And that's the one obvious and most important topic. You will not get paid for playing this game. You will not receive rewards for your time and attention unless you have a bag of SPS. That's that almost we could stop the video right there, because that's the biggest thing. If you don't take that seriously right now while SPS is cheap, you're going to regret it later, especially if you've been playing this game for months and months and enjoying those rewards, which many of you have. I've got people, 6,500 people follow the channel, and every video gets, oh man, the millions of hours that have been viewed on this thing. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope you guys are listening, because it's moments like this that are going to change what your future is with this game. Because if you don't have SPS, when the price of SPS goes up, and I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to be next year or 5 years from now, but I'm saying it will go up one day. And when it does, if you don't have your bag prepared, you're not going to get one. You're not going to get tens of thousands of SPS if it's selling for 50 cents an SPS. But if it is selling for 5 or 6 or 7 cents, that starts to become more and more realistic. And so it's like, can you get a few? So you aren't going to get rank battle rewards. That's the first point. And in the recent town hall on Monday here, I heard somebody ask a question like about this topic. He said something like, if I don't have SPS, does that mean I'm not going to get rank battle rewards and loot chests? That was the question. And Aggie said, Aggie was answering, and he's like, well, we're still trying to figure that out. And Yaba jumped in and was like, no, that's exactly right. Which is surprising to me, because I actually thought we would still get loot chests, but not get paid for every win. So hear me, I actually believe you're not going to get a loot chest if you don't even have SPS. So not just the little bit of SPS for winning the match, but actually loot chests at the end of the day or at the end of the season won't be yours. So SPS is deeply important for getting paid in this game. That's the first point, and you probably already know that one, but it's got to be said. And the next, there's so many important attached points, but I mean, for one, SPS allows tournaments. Tournaments are another way to get paid in the game for your time and attention. Tournaments are significant payouts, and they represent usually an easy doubling of your money. It's like pretty well participation will get you your SPS back, whatever you paid to get to play. But then slight performance will double your SPS. That's usually the rule of thumb. And so it doesn't take expertise really. It takes a decent deck and some know-how to achieve kind of a doubling of your SPS there. That's amazing. And the SPS rank battle rewards imply another benefit that maybe you know and maybe don't. You're going to need SPS on that account to get those rank battle rewards. You're going to need SPS on your account to participate in tournaments. But we're moving to a place where you'll be able to rent and borrow and delegate SPS. So if you got a friend or a second account that's got tons of SPS, you could delegate to your alt and then allow it to kind of earn. But two things. One, it sounds like the delegation required is kind of a scaled thing. Like however much, it's not like if you get 100 SPS, you're good. Or if you get 1,000 or 10,000, you're good. It sounds like it's a scale. And so if you got 100, you could get some rewards. If you got 1,000, you're gonna get more. If you got 10,000, you're gonna get more yet, and so on and so forth. Which means to say, um, it's not like you need a little bit. It's really like the more you get, the better you are. Um, and from two perspectives, the more you get, the better you are. One, the more you get, the better you are in terms of your own personal rewards from playing the game, because you need more so you can unlock more rewards. But then additionally, you can delegate to other accounts like your alt, which will personally benefit you, but forget about just your alts. How about the rental market and how you could earn passive income from delegating that SPS just to a market so that it can be bought up and borrowed by players? I think that's going to generate passive SPS income because one, you'll delegate to them and then you'll earn, I imagine you'll earn off of their play SPS rank battle rewards. Because that's what they said. When you delegate to a second account, you're going to earn a proportion of what they unlock. And that's probably the SPS per win. You get like a portion of it based on how much SPS out of their total SPS you are contributing. So if you contribute 100% of all their SPS, you would get 100% of that piece of the pie. If you contribute 50% of their SPS, you're going to get half of that extra piece of the pie. And so there's passive earning potential just by either delegating to somebody you know who's good at the game or by renting out on the marketplace and earning some passive revenue through that. So again, that's another tool or opportunity to earn through owning SPS. And really these sorts of moments or those sorts of that ability to earn is going to be maximized by those who take opportunities such as 5 cent SPS to fill their bag. It was 5 cents like a week ago or something like that. Now it's 8 cents now, but still, it was 10 cents like a month ago, and it was $1 like a year ago. So, this is relatively inexpensive. Could it go cheaper? Maybe, but I do think Rift Watchers which we'll get into next, is probably going to drive the SPS in the short term up, even if it eventually goes back down, and then through a proper bear market and sits there for a bit and then pops up in the proper bull market to come, years to come. So Rift Watchers. SPS is the token of choice. I said that earlier, but what does that mean? So we're going to need to use SPS to buy things in it, like validator nodes, like promo tickets, like access to the Las Vegas Splinterfest. You're going to need to buy an access pass, and it's going to require vouchers and SPS. And then new packs like Rift Watchers. You want to play the game, you need cards. You need cards, you better have SPS. And so it's like, no matter how you look at it, you need to have access to this stuff. You need to have access to this money so that you can enter the game and benefit from the game. And I think many of you want to be here and want to enjoy what we're doing, but I don't know if everybody is taking seriously the importance of having access to SPS. And I feel like there's a lot more to it too, even. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. I mean, holding SPS also is going to unlock your component, your power, your vote in the governance of the game and the blockchain. Not the blockchain is not the right term there because it runs on Hive, but Splinterlands will be governed by those who hold SPS. What does that mean? It means that when certain key decisions are brought to the attention of the community, they'll actually fall in they'll fall under our oversight. Our being those people who own SPS. If you don't own one SPS, you don't get a vote. If you own one SPS, you get a small vote. If you own 1,000,000, you get a big vote. And what about big key questions? When they come up, don't you want to be a participant in that conversation? You can't if you don't have SPS. That's huge. Do you believe in the future of Splinterlands? Do you think that this game is going in the right direction? Would you like to make sure that it continues to do so? Because you've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of investments, or even thousands of dollars worth of investments that could multiply into tens of thousands, I think you should want to. I think you should care about being involved in those conversations. And you can't be if you don't have SPS. And if that feels too vague or like, you know, you you don't really know what conversations could come up that could necessitate your voice, that where you would actually care. How about this one? I'll give you one. Right now, there's something like $15 million worth of cryptocurrency sitting in a DAO. What's a DAO? A decentralized autonomous organization that Yaba and Aggie made years ago. I guess it probably was when liquidity pools started being offered with Splinterlands assets. They created these liquidity pools, and they personally used SPS and DEC and whatever else to stake on these liquidity pools to create liquidity so that that people like us would enjoy and have access, and the more broader community of people would have access to trading our tokens. Now, a byproduct of having made that choice is that they received a significant amount of those other tokens that were partnered and paired with our tokens. That's how liquidity pools work. You stake, DEC and SPS on a DEC SPS liquidity pool. You're going to get paid as cryptocurrency to hold that. But what about, you know, some of the there's I don't mess with liquidity pools, but there's lots of them. And if everyone that you participate in, you're getting paid in. So now those cryptos are ending up in this DAO, which is technically Aggie and Matt's, but they've said it's essentially ours, and it'll be left to the oversight of those who have governance of Splinterlands, meaning SPS holders. So $15 million is sitting in an account, and you can have a vote on how it gets used. But wait, it's way bigger than that. Because one thing, cryptocurrencies right now are depressed. Those values can appreciate, those values in that bank account can and will appreciate. And when they do, that 15 can become 100 or more. And we're we're simultaneously constantly putting more in. When we sell validator nodes, some amount is ending up in there, and some amount is going to be burned, validator nodes. And then when we sell Rift Watchers, which is 3 million packs, $5 each, $15 million, all of that money is going into that DAO, all of it. So we're constantly adding to it, and in 6 years or so, we might have a vision for how that could theoretically be used. But in the meantime, as validator nodes come online in like within the next 6 months or a year, what you're going to see is conversations around this 30 million bucks that's sitting in this bank account. Do we want to burn that? Because it's already happening. I'm seeing conversations online about SPS and maybe burning the excess stuff that's sitting in the DAO. Now, not all of that money in that DAO is SPS, but a large portion of it is. And a growing portion of it is because of Rift Watchers and probably similar projects that will be sold in SPS. Meaning, you like how would you like it if you could buy a token and know full well that like a quarter of it could be burnt by in the within the next year or two? Like, think about the supply demand crunch that could happen in a moment if a decision to burn a quarter of all existing tokens could come along. And that's the sort of power that being having governance vote, having decentralized governance, having SPS so that you can have a weighted vote in that conversation. That's how powerful and meaningful it could be, because it literally could be a financial overnight benefit if people like us decided, hey, we don't actually think there's too much supply of this thing. Let's bring it down a bit, and in the process immediately benefit ourselves and our SPS bag. So that's, I mean, there's so many reasons, guys. There's so many reasons why you're going to want SPS. Another reason you're going to want some SPS is because those of you who are participating in guilds, you're going to earn SPS from playing in those guilds. Again, it's going to be you need to stake it in order to earn it. So, I mean, guild participants are going to really want it for that reason, but then also not just for that reason, because guild participants are they benefit from the size and the development of the buildings in their guild. Those buildings are increased by the burning of DC. You spend DC to improve your guild hall and your guild arena and so on and so forth. How do you get DC if you're not earning in rank battle rewards? You're going to have to trade your SPS for it. You actually burn your SPS for it. And so there's tons of different burn mechanics that have come up and that are coming up for SPS that's going to reduce that supply, which is going to help increase the price in and of itself. But listen to this thing, because I think they're creating all kinds of new reasons why people want to be in guilds. They're even offering merits in rank battle loot chests, which is, I think, going to eventually spark interest and new participation in guilds. Because hey, I've got these assets, why don't I just go over there and join some guild or make a guild? And if that starts to incentivize more participation over there, and if the SPS payouts are as huge as it sounds like they're going to be from rank battle brawl participation, guys, it sounds like they're going to be at the highest tiers. They're going to be huge. And if that's so, then then you're going to want you need that bag for even more revenue generating opportunity. But I'm glad that's like almost a side point. I mean to talk about the burn mechanic, because you need those guild buildings to be high. How are you going to do that? Because you need DC, but you don't get DC anymore. You need to acquire it through burning SPS. And so that's another burn mechanic for why you're going to want SPS. But yes, simultaneously, this topic brings up more earning potential because the guild brawls themselves are going to pay out SPS. So that's really two separate points. There's just so many reasons, guys. And there's probably more that I'm not thinking about, but that's really all the ones that before I started the video, those were the ones that I really felt needed to be mentioned all in one video in a way that hopefully is going to address and answer kind of questions around this issue for not just our community, but the growing members of that community. SPS is key. You aren't going to receive benefits from this game without it. And the benefits you do receive from enjoying this game are going to be multiplied by having more of it. So it's not, hey, what's the minimum I can get? It's really, where's the ceiling? I don't see a ceiling. Just as much as you believe in the game and as much as you're able to access, investment dollars, this is one of the key investments that I carry, and I would argue is maybe one of the most important in Splinterlands, possibly in cryptocurrency today. Thanks, guys, for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.